Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us and watching this wonderful film. What? I heard there was a small technical problem. We were missing the subtitles, but don't worry. The film is going to be on our Vimeo OTT platform for next 2 weeks till October 17th, and you'll get to watch the film as many times you want with the subtitles on. So now, without further ado, let me welcome legendary Anupama Chopra, who is from Film Companion, and Film Companion is our CoSAFF's media partner. Anupama Chopra is a film critic, television anchor, national award-winning book author, chairperson of the Film Critics Guild, and director of the Jio Mami Mumbai Film Festival with Star. She is also the founder and editor of the digital platform Film Companion, which offers a curated look at cinema and entertainment. And here is Anupama Chopra.
Thank you. Oh my God. To be called a legend when Shabana Azmi is in the frame is a little embarrassing. But thank you. Good morning and good evening to everybody. And I'm so happy to be up on a Sunday morning to be talking to Shabana, Baba, Danish, Aditi. First of all, thank you for making a film that gives us hope in a very broken world. I really, I think we all need that. We just need that one thing to hold on to, and Mee Raqsam really offered that. And so, thank you for making it. Aditi, I want to start with you. Your life, hello, your life is to me as inspiring as Miriam's. You're a girl from Mijwan. You are now living your dream. You want to be an actor. You're inspired by Shabana. Uh, Tell me, how challenging was it for you to become this girl, to do this role?
Oh, you
Hello.
can't hear us or what?
Yeah, we
Aditi,
can
can
hear
you
Yes.
you.
hear? नहीं?
आदति कुछ बोलो, आपकी आवाज आ रही है?
सॉरी
हाँ, आ रही है आवाज, बोलो।
हाँ, आ रही।
मुझे सुनाई नहीं दिया
अच्छा, मैं फिर से बोलती हूँ आदिति. How your life and Miriam's life is very similar. आपने भी एक challenge अपने आप को दिया and you did this role so well. How difficult was it?
एक्चुअली जैसे मरियम है वैसे मतलब उसने वो सपना देखा कि डांस करने का भरतनाट्यम करने का वैसे ही मैंने भी एक्टिंग का मतलब सपना देखा जो कि मुझे करना था तो जिस तरह से उसके अब्बू उसको सपोर्ट करते हैं कि मतलब दुनिया का मत सोचो मैं तुम्हारे साथ हूँ तुम अपने ड्रीम पे ध्यान दो उस तरह से मेरे पापा भी मुझे हमेशा सपोर्ट करते हैं मेरे पेरेंट्स जो है मुझे सपोर्ट करते हैं कि तुमको तुम्हारा जो सपना है उसको पूरा करो और उस सपने को पूरा करने के लिए मुझे बाबा अंकल शबाना बुआ ने मदद की तो मतलब हमारा और मरियम का मतलब मेरा और मरियम का कुछ मतलब सेम ही है तो मैं बहुत ग्रेटफुल हूँ बाबा अंकल को शबाना बुआ की कि उन्होंने मुझे ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी
That's so lovely. Shabana, I believe you discovered Aditi. How did that happen?
Um, I have been going to Mijwan for many years now because my father has started an NGO over there called Mijwan Welfare Society that works for the empowerment of the girl child and women. And so, on my frequent visits, I have seen Aditi grow up in front of my eyes. In fact, I was so caught by her face. She was, I think, barely 3 or 4 years old when I took a photograph of her on my phone, and actually, it made the cover of an annual report that we did for Mijma Welfare Society. So there was something in those eyes and something in her that I found very attractive. And then I saw her growing up, and I knew it was very interesting. We had a fashion show for Mijma, which Manish Malhotra does, and she came to that fashion show, walked the ramp with Shah Rukh Khan and Anushka Sharma, and went up on stage and said, "It is my dream to become an actress like Shabana Bua." And 2 years later, here she is, protagonist, heroine of the film. It for me, it's not just about Aditi Anupama. It's about all those thousands of young boys and girls in India, all of them who have dreams, all of them have aspirations. India has the youngest people in the entire world. 50% of our population is under the age of 25. So, with Maryam getting a chance to realize a dream, Aditi getting a chance to realize her dream, I feel it's an opening for so many others who are aspiring as well.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I found most interesting about the film is that it's, of course, a very dramatic story, but there's no shrillness. Salim pushes back with such unfailing courtesy. There's such itne adab se he kind of says no, and he keeps his place and he takes his stand. Um, Baba, why was that important as a storyteller? Why did you choose to say it in a way that is more still and has gravitas rather than sort of over the top drama?
I do feel, Anupama, when the writing is very strong and it's very clear and focused, and to convey that, you don't really need a over the top kind of a performance. The power is in the writing itself. The power is in the way. I mean, you just have to simply say that, just feel it and say it, and it will be effective if it's written very well. And with Mee Raqsam, the entire film, the way I saw it and the way I see it is the script is so clear in what one is trying to say that I never felt the urge of raising it to another level, taking it slightly higher in terms of performances and things. And I do feel that I have achieved, and the kind of respect and reaction it is getting is also because the way it has been pitched. उसका जो सुर है फिल्म का वो बहुत attractive है. You're not used to, especially in the scene where Nasir comes to his house, Salim's house, and he's telling Salim, कि तुम्हारी बेटी जो कर रही है ठीक नहीं कर रही है, and all that. So it's like a face-off scene,
It
and
is.
so it's that's what with Danish also I was very clear on one thing. I think Danish, your character is too strong, and the strength is his sachai, his truth. The power Salim gets is from within. You don't need to say anything. Don't need to go out of your character, And I mean, you don't even feel threatened by it. So, क्योंकि आप बिलीव करते हो अपने आपके आइडियोलॉजी में, आपकी थिंकिंग में, you are equally aware of the religion from where he is coming. कि हमारे रिलीजन में ये नहीं. तो सलीम is equally aware. सलीम का जो इंटरप्रिटेशन है रिलीजन का वो डिफरेंट है हाशिम सेठ से, नसीर से. दैट्स द ओनली थिंग, बट ही इज राइट. वो भी 5 वक्त नमाजी आदमी.
Correct.
So all these things were there, and so that kind of gave me the pitch.
But is it true? Is it true? मैंने पढ़ा अदिति कि when they were shooting the film और आप सिर्फ 15 साल की थी, you went to बाबा और आपने कहा कि मुझे एक confrontation scene चाहिए नसीर साहब के साथ. Is that true?
सच बोलो.
ये हुआ कि नहीं हुआ? सच है?
जी जी सच है. मुझे चाहिए.
उनको चाहिए तो डर नहीं लगा अदिति?
नहीं.
Wow.
नहीं.
So, Baba, how did you handle the situation? How did you explain कि no, maybe not?
No, then I requested Aditi Subedi ji. मैंने नहीं, Aditi, Nasir will get scared, nervous, he'll forget his lines. So please, have mercy. So Nasir also said, हाँ, please, यार, मैं face off नहीं कर.
मुझे बख्श दो. Danish, your performance for me is really the spine of the film, and like Baba was saying, ki the strength comes from his conviction, and also what I loved was ki he's not trying to be a hero. He's just trying to be a decent man and a decent father. And there's such a quietness about him. How did you find this character? How hard was it for you?
Uh, when I first read the script, and immediately after reading the script, and I was in discussion with Baba about how do we perceive the character, there was no doubt about how the character needs to be portrayed. I mean, we just kind of simultaneously said the same thing. And I recall with this one scene in Attenborough's Gandhi, when Gandhi first time is protesting against identity cards, and he's just burning the identity cards in that thing, and the police officer is beating him. And in that whole scene, Gandhi is not trying to be a hero. He is just persisting with what his will is, and he's doing it with such dignity that that scene gives you goose flesh. You get goosebumps watching that scene. And the other character which I thought was of Balraj Sahani in Garam Hawa. I mean, every time when he's trying to hunt for a house where he can, move in, and each time when he's denied for various facetious reasons, with such dignity and grace, he just accepts it, thank you, and just walks out and moves on to the next house. So I think this is something that we've seen in the elders of our house. We've seen in the elders of our house where when they would be faced with confrontation or when they would be faced with certain ugliness, they would not lower the bar of their own character. They would stick to what their character is. And I think that was very, very important because, as Baba said, the strength is the belief that Salim has that I'm not doing anything wrong. And it's my daughter's right to learn whatever she wants to learn. And that comes across in one of the dialogues when he says कि सवाल डांस का नहीं है, सवाल जिंदगी अपनी शर्तों पे जीने का है. आज डांस पे उन्होंने रोक लगाई है, कल वो किसी और चीज पे रोक लगा देंगे. So I think that conviction gives the strength, and that does everything. One doesn't need to beat their chest or try to be macho or be hero. It's not required.
Perhaps, Danish, you can have a tutorial for our television anchors.
That's so well said, Anupama.
Confrontation without lowering the bar of your character.
Anupama, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. वो पुरानी कहावत है ना उसके, because there is no truth to back up, they have to beat their drum louder. अगर सही होती तो फिर उनको जरूरत ही नहीं थी ये सब नाटक करने की.
Correct. Baba, tell me, ये कितना मुश्किल था to have two actors और एक है newcomer like Aditi and one is a veteran like Danish. In terms of direction, how do you balance that? How do you make sure that both are delivering when there are light years apart in terms of experience?
See, I think the credit I'll give to Aditi here, because when I did the auditions and all that, of course there was, I had to put in the effort to just get her on this soul. But Danish तो आप dependent हो या आप उसको trust कर सकते हो as an actor. You know that he's an accomplished actor. He will perform. He just needs his brief and then he'll do it right. So one had to take care of Aditi because she being for the first time and first time facing the camera, she didn't know anything about shooting. ऐसा नहीं पता था कि shoot होती कैसे. So, but मैं अदिति की तारीफ यहाँ करना चाहूँगा because जिस spontaneity से और जिस तरह से she just owned and she absorbed all the instructions and she just absorbed what was happening around. She was not once, Danish will second that, but not once we felt that we were working with the newcomer there. And मतलब आप सोचिए दानिश के साथ में पूरे माहौल में हर एक्टर वहाँ श्रद्धा कौल है जो इतने मंझे हुए एक्टर है सबके सामने I never saw her nervous even once, so it was amazing. She's an amazing discovery truly. उसके मुंह पे तारीफ कर रहा हूँ दिमाग नहीं खराब करना.
Also, like when I first met Aditi, there was this innocence leaping out of her, which was about, oh, you are playing my father. I would love to know you. I would like to be friends with you. and that innocence was so beautiful. It was so endearing that it, you were compelled to kind of open your arms and welcome this girl. And I think it's really, as Baba said, that it's her initiative, that she was so willing to learn, that she was so willing to connect with people, that she was so willing to, and not at a very superficial level, ki bhai, he's a co-actor, but she was genuinely interested in the actors around, in the crew around, and everyone just kind of accepted her. She accepted us, and that camaraderie, it comes across when we are acting on the screen. You can see that there doesn't seem to be any effort. We do seem like father and daughter.
Yeah, yeah. But Aditi, ये किया कैसे? बिल्कुल डर नहीं लगा?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। मतलब बाबा अंकल, मतलब एक्चुअली ऐसा था कि मतलब मैं फर्स्ट टाइम कैमरा फेस कर रही हूँ और शूटिंग वगैरह के बारे में मैं जानती नहीं थी, तो मतलब फर्स्ट टाइम मैं देख रही हूँ और मतलब हूँ उसमें, तो मतलब मैं नर्वस तो मतलब कहीं कहीं होती थी कि मतलब मुझे वो सीन नहीं समझ में आ रहा, तो बाबा अंकल मुझे बैठ के समझाते थे, तो मतलब एक टेक लिया, 2 टेक लिया, उसके लिए मुझे कभी डांट नहीं पड़ती थी। टाइम लो, अपना समझो, उसके बाद मुझे समझाते थे, 2-4 बार समझाते थे, समझ में नहीं आया तो वापस पूछो, फिर उनको वो मुझे समझाते थे, उसके बाद वो मतलब टेक लेके हो जाता था और फिर डांटते थे, मतलब मतलब एक बार हम वो क्लाइमेक्स शूट कर रहे थे, तो वो जो जब भी मैं डांस करके नीचे गिरती हूँ, तो मतलब ऊपर उठ के मुझे मतलब रोना था, तो फिर बाबा अंकल मतलब 2-4 बार किए हमने, तो वो हम नहीं कर पाई, मतलब मैं मतलब मजाक में ले रही थी, इधर ध्यान भटका हुआ था, तो बाबा अंकल बोलते हैं कि मतलब माइक लेते हैं, उसके बाद माइक लेके सबके सामने मैं बोलती ओ यार, सबके सामने चिल्ला दिया, अभी अदिति करना पड़ेगा, पूरे काम के साथ फोकस करके काम करो। तो उन्होंने डांटा मुझे, बोला फोकस के साथ काम करो, अभी काम कर रही हो तो काम करो, बाद में मजाक करना। तो फिर मतलब उसके बाद मतलब एक ही बार में हो गया, फिर बोले हाँ यही करना चाहिए तुम्हारे साथ।
अच्छा, I like hearing कि कभी-कभी तो डांट पड़ी, नहीं तो you seem like a super power, Aditi, किसका भी नहीं।
मैंने बहुत डांट पड़ी,
बहुत
डांट पड़ी।
You know, this film is of course dedicated to Kaifi Azmi, your father, who was a true legend, a great artist, and one of the great humanists and secularists. And one of my favorite lines in the film is कि कला का कोई मजहब नहीं होता. What a wonderful idea, what a wonderful sentiment to put out in the world, especially now. Shabana and Baba, when you saw that scene, when you conceived that scene, did you have any concerns about what the response to it might be?
Shabana?
Baba, I didn't think of the scene, neither did I direct it. So the question is to be to you.
Okay. So nahi Anupama, aisa mujhe when that scene when we were doing climax, और ये फिल्म की शुरुआत ही उस थॉट से हुई है कि कला का कोई रिलीजन नहीं होता, तो वहां से तो फिल्म ही शुरू हुई है. आई नेवर फेल्ट दैट आई विल फेस एनी काइंड ऑफ अ प्रॉब्लम और there will be a controversy on this. Truly, I never had that kind of a fear in me. So, ये फिल्म का जो कोर है, जो थॉट है, that itself, that line itself, from where it all started. So, yeah, I mean, it was good, and of course, वही कैफी साहब की थिंकिंग है, उसी का एक एक्सटेंशन है. ये तो पूरी फिल्म ही उनकी as I see how I've grown up in that house. So, ये thought process है इसका, film का.
Tell me, Javed Saab has been thanked in the opening credits. What role did he play?
देखिए, जावेद साहब तो मतलब हर किस्म का रोल प्ले कर लेते, पर जब ये फिल्म बनाई तो बहुत जरूरी होता भाई जावेद साहब को दिखाओ, लेट्स सी व्हाट ही सेज. And there were a lot of certain discussions which I had with him. चाहे वो गाना शूट कर रहा हूँ या गाने के लिरिक्स हों या कोई सीन के बारे में कहना है, and then take his feedback, which is so important. And coming from such an experienced person. So उनका काफी इनपुट रहा, उनके काफी टाइम, मतलब क्योंकि वो, मतलब मैं अप्रोच कर सकता हूँ उनको, बोलते ना सारी दुनिया एक तरफ, दुल्हन का भाई एक तरफ, तो
जोरू का भाई
जोरू का भाई एक तरफ, तो वो मेरे पास वो फ्रीडम है कि आई कैन जस्ट वॉक इनटू द हाउस एंड से जाओ साहब 5 मिनट, आप एक सवाल है मेरा,
What a great bouncing board to have, right?
अरे मतलब आप सोचो, blessed
Anupama,
absolutely.
you know what is very nice is Javed's just complete and total faith in the script and complete and total faith in the film. And when he saw it after that, everything that he said about the film has come true. He said it will be greatly appreciated. It will be appreciated by the critics. It will be loved by the people, and it will bring a lot of fame to everybody involved with it. He was the one who had the most undying faith in the product. But sorry, let me, we are constantly getting SMSs saying that please don't speak in Hindi. And if somebody speaks in Hindi, then Anupama, please translate it. That's what they say. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, one thing that I wanted to say, you haven't asked that question, but to me, for people watching in America, it may be a completely different experience from what it is in India. But for a father to have that kind of relationship with his daughter, where he plays both the father and the mother, and is, he is a very, very unusual person, not only on the screen, but also in life. Because if you see masculinity and the toxicity which surrounds masculinity, the whole idea that it's about power, it's about muscle, it's about this strength and that. The film, without saying it, is actually redefining masculinity and saying, why can't masculinity also be about nurturing? Why can't it also be about compassion? Why can't it also be about gentleness? And it has found such a core with the audience that this is really something whose time has come in terms of the difference we want to see in the portrayal of our men in our film. And because it's not in the face and because it's just so gentle and so human, you come away feeling good in a time when everything around you is almost dystopic, really.
Absolutely. I mean, really, Salim is the father every girl should have.
My father was like that.
Tell me, in just 5 minutes, I'll start taking in the questions. I'm getting lots of questions from all the people watching on my phone. But for all of you, what is the single response to this film that has really stayed with you? What is the one line that somebody said or anything that happened post-release that you feel just made all the work worth it?
I would like to say here that across all the appreciations what one has been getting, the thing which is being underlined, I feel, is what the silence, the strength of the script, and the simplicity, the way it's been narrated, without any dramatics, without any stillness. So much so that even the background score, if you just hear it properly, and it's so quiet, but it's so good. The presence is there. So the world, this Mee Raqsam world, the way it has been created, is got a sur of itself, by itself, which is being appreciated a lot. This is what I feel. There's no stillness in it.
Danish, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, for me, the greatest compliment is that Baba gave me the role without watching anything of mine ever. He kind of completely, blindly trusted me with the role. But and I'm going to speak more from a selfish actor's point of view. And I have immense respect for Kaifi Azmi as an actor. I think she's, one of the finest actors and so is for Shabana. And when the film got ready, and Baba was saying that he's going to show it to Shabana and Tanvi, I was shit scared. I was like, what if they don't like my performance? What if they say something? And so the first time after both Shabana and Tanvi had seen the film, and I was supposed to meet them because I was also going for a screening, I was extremely nervous. And then when I entered Janki Kutir and the way both of them, welcomed me, it was such a great redemption for me. And I'm watching the scene, and that face-off scene is happening between me and Nasir. And at some point of time, Nasir, he makes this punchy dialogue, and then he walks off. And I'm just looking at Nasir's character walking away, and Tanvi goes, "Beautiful, Danish, beautiful," and I'm like, I have finally done something well. So I think this approval from people whom you idealize, whom you think as role models, whom you kind of believe as great actors, this approval is something which is very satisfying for an actor. And I think when Scroll came up with a review that the Best Father Award now goes to me and has been taken away from Gunjan Saxena, I was extremely thrilled.
No, but you know what, Anupama, you know what? The amazing thing about this film is that it has been appreciated by Shyam Benegal on one end and David Dhawan on the other.
How lovely.
Filmmakers who don't belong to the same planet. And it has struck a chord with both. That means there is a universality about this human story that appeals to people, and that to me is its biggest strength. Earlier, people used to think this is a niche film. It's a niche film. They were all proved wrong because it isn't a niche film. It is across cultures. That's the important thing. It touches you across cultures. That is its biggest strength, I think. And really, the credit. I hope that Ali Hussain Meer is listening to this conversation. It's very sad. Who is the writer of the film? I hope he has logged on, because really it's kudos to Ali Hussain Meer for his absolutely brilliant writing.
And imagine right now, 2,000 people, more than 2,000 people in America have just seen it. How wonderful is that? That it's connecting really, geography is not a problem. I'm going to take some of the questions that they are sending us. So I think this one has been answered in a bit, but Baba, if you might want to address it in a more expansive way. What was it like to work with non-actors mixed with seasoned actors on such a big production? How was the casting process?
I think the greatest strength of this film is that all the performances, all the actors, whether they are new or they are experienced, are excellent performers, excellent actors. Like Kaustubh Shukla, like Shraddha Kaul, who's Shraddha Kaul has played the Khala, the aunt, and Kaustubh Shukla has played the rickshaw driver. They are all really wonderful actors. So I never felt any difference if there's a scene I'm doing with Danish, or there's a scene I'm doing with Shraddha, or there's a scene which I'm doing with Aditi. In terms of their absorbing what the director is trying to say, processing it, and then perform. So for me as a director, I never felt, I'm working with this newcomer and I have to put in extra effort. It never happened, not even one single scene. So I really, it was very smooth sailing. I never had this problem of a newcomer and an experienced actor performing the difference.
And someone's asking how much, I don't have names here, so I can't say, I can't tell you who's asking this, but how much dance training did Aditi receive, and how long did the final dance take to choreograph?
4 months. 4 months for learning. Learning Bharatnatyam in 4 months is not possible. But what we did, we recorded the song and we made her practice only on the song in Bharatnatyam form. So that's how in 4 months she was able to give such a wonderful performance. And the shooting the song took about 6 days, 5 to 6 days, and that's because I'm also quite a slow DOP. I take my time.
No. Baba's being extremely modest. The fact is that he had such little equipment. He had like the barest equipment. I was there when they were shooting the climax. And can you imagine that whole dance has been done with 5 lights? Baba says if it was a regular mainstream film, it would have required at least 50 lights. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? So he's being, yeah, so it's amazing what he's managed to achieve in that. It's really quite incredible.
Wow. So we have another question on the dance.
Yes.
How did you choose the choreography and what to keep and what to lose? They're saying the dance is so well done. How was it actually decided?
No, that's the director's job. I mean, you choreograph a song, and then whichever is the best shot, you keep it. And it's okay. See. It's not like shooting a video album or a rock show which has 10 cameras, you know, and then you edit it on the editing table. Everything here was very worked out. We knew exactly from shot number 1 to shot number 2 where the shot number 2 starts and things like that. So it's all worked out on paper, and then you just execute. Executing is the easiest part. It's the
Conceiving.
yeah, conceiving and doing it is very
No,
required.
but Dipali, Baba, talk about
Huh.
Dipali's contribution.
Dipali, Salim is herself, who's choreographed this song, herself a Bharatnatyam dancer and a teacher. And she's a young girl and amazingly focused. And the first thing when I spoke to her and about Bharatnatyam, she's that, very orthodox South Indian girl
Yeah.
who will not compromise on Bharatnatyam. The first thing when I requested her, she said, "Sir, one thing, I've never done a film before. I don't know, but I will not take any, if you tell me for cinema, take some liberty and do it, I'm not interested. I'm telling you right away. Here. So I will not compromise." I said, "No, please don't compromise. I don't want you to compromise." And she was a great, great help. And she was not a choreographer who just came for 3 days and, did a job and went. No, not at all. She was part of entire Mee Raqsam. She had come to Mijwan for about 8, 10 days. And she was all there, all focused. I think it was not possible without Deepali to achieve this kind of performance, this kind of a dance from Aditi.
One question is, with COVID increasing the divides in nations and especially in India, do you think a story like this resonates even more?
I feel the story directly has nothing to do with COVID or something, but I do feel because of COVID and because it has come on a OTT platform. So what we've achieved is that it's been viewed across all over the place because of its OTT format. Otherwise, if it was just coming to a theater, so maybe we would still be struggling to find, and also to find a theater here and, during COVID, so not possible, but even otherwise for a film like that, which doesn't have all the big names from the film industry, it has its own little drawbacks in terms of when you look at it commercially. So yeah, I mean, I feel COVID has been a blessing for Mee Raqsam in a way.
That's a terrible thing to say.
So I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, I was going to ask. So this is not a question anyone's asking, but this is something I'm very curious about. And Shabana, this is for you. Just it so happened I'm working on a project, and like 2 days ago, I saw Masoom. And you're so stunning in the film. and you're still such an amazing actor. And I was like, how do you do that? How do you keep that consistency for how many decades has it been? And you know, there's no fraying of your craft in any way. As an actor, how do you nurture yourself and keep yourself completely on point for so long?
You know, I think for an artist, and particularly for an actor, her resource base must be life itself. If you are connected with life, if you're invested in what is happening around you, if you want to uh, not only mirror what is happening around you, but you also want to be invested in that, I think that from that comes your strength. The craft obviously gets honed over the years. I take great pride in the fact that I'm a professionally trained actor, but it cannot happen unless you continue to be involved and invested in life. That's what I would think. I still get butterflies in my stomach before I embark on a new role. I still feel, oh my God, am I going to do it? So I don't have any cockiness about me, which I think helps.
God, that's amazing. To be an actor at your level and not have cockiness. How do you manage that? Okay, there's one more question. The juxtaposition of the two families, mainly father and daughter relationships. What was the inspiration to show that contrast?
Contrast meaning?
There was the Hindu father and you know, the very modern daughter, and then of course Miriam and her father. Baba, do you remember when you were writing the story? Was there any inspiration, or was there any specific idea that we have to show a contrast between the two?
More than the contrast, Anupama, Jai Prakash character came because of hardship. So it's not that one community has a certain kind of a mindset. So you need to balance that. And
right. You were saying there's good and bad everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So Jai Prakash came from there, you know, his character. And again, his daughter. There's a difference between Jai Prakash and his daughter thinking. So, I mean, that is what I like and I love, is like you cannot blanket one blanket rule for one community, you know, har jagah. So that's how Jai Prakash came in.
Okay. I think, you know, I think, Anupama, you know, I think that is also a very important point which comes across in the film, that, you know, it isn't about one community pitted against the other community. So the fight, we keep thinking the fight is between religions and between communities. But the fact is, the fight is between a worldview which respects tolerance and is liberal and progressive, and a worldview which is exclusive and says, no, you cannot do this, and is intolerant. So basically, it's a fight between two worldviews, a progressive, liberal, tolerant worldview against an intolerant, fundamentalist attitude. And that, to me, is its quiet strength.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's you know, and it's saying it again in a very quiet way, which is wonderful. Aditi, ये आपके लिए है कि what is Aditi's Nepal connection? तो नेपाल के साथ कोई connection है, and it's amazing for a Nepali girl to have such a lead role in a major production.
Actually, she's born and brought up in Mijwan. She's a Mijwan girl.
हाँ, that's what I'm wondering. तो ये I'm not sure. Nepal connection तो कोई है ही नहीं ना?
No, I think her relatives and all that. Sorry, Aditi, you say. Why am I? No, Aditi, you say. I mean, why am I?
हाँ, मेरे रिलेटिव्स रहते हैं उधर, बट मैं इधर ही बॉर्न हुई, मिजवा में. मेरे पापा बचपन से यहाँ दादा बाबा के साथ, कैफी दादा बाबा के साथ, मतलब कैफी साहब के साथ रहे हैं बचपन से. मतलब मेरे से छोटे उम्र से रहे हैं वो. तो मैं भी इधर ही बॉर्न हुई हूँ और इधर ही पली बड़ी हूँ.
Okay, So for everybody who doesn't understand Hindi, she said that she has relatives in Nepal, but she was born and brought up in Mijwan. Um, there is one more question. If Kaifi Saab had been with us today, what do you think his reaction would have been?
Let me answer this. What I feel, Kaifi Saab was a person of very few words. He would not, मतलब वो बात बहुत ज्यादा नहीं करता. तो मुझे एक चीज पता है, व्हाट ही वुड हैव डन, मिजवा में उनके घर पे एक बहुत बड़ी होर्डिंग लगा देते हो और उन मीर अक्सर की, और वहां से अपने लोगों को बुलाते, would tell Gopal, that's Aditi's father who was with him that time, like a son, and say कि अच्छा उनको फोन करो, डीएम साहब को बुलाओ. अब वो डीएम साहब कैफी साहब से मिलने आया, कैफी साहब आपने बुलाया, बोलिए. He would quietly say, point there, वो देखिए आप. सिर्फ होर्डिंग दिखाने, and then he would point. So he would be very proud, but this is how he would express it.
That's so lovely. That's so lovely. I have to translate that. So Baba said that Kaifi Saab was not a very effusive person. He would not praise, in words, but he would put a hoarding of Mee Raqsam in his house in Mijwan, and then he would call the highest authority in the land in Mijwan, and then just sort of casually let him see it. And his pride would be shown through that gesture. That's just such a beautiful story. There's one last question. And I want to ask this because we did when we did the interview, we spoke a little bit about this, and your answer was very heartening for me, because I also felt that maybe the film industry has become too divided now. Maybe it's too polarized. And Baba and Shabana, both of you said to me that's not true. And work and relationships are above everything else. So the question is that, do Muslim artists in India experience prejudice in their pursuit of the craft?
In fact, that is the one area in which there has been no discrimination. It has never been anybody's concern, because otherwise you wouldn't have had in the Hindi film industry, it's been Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, and Amir Khan who've been ruling the roost. You've had Mohammad Rafi, you've had Kaifi Azmi, you have Majrooh Sultanpuri. The film industry is the one place that in that way truly celebrates pluralism and just takes somebody who's good for the job. I think it's the last institution left really in India where religion is nobody's concern.
How wonderful. Anybody else? Anything to add to that?
It reminds me of an interview where Javed Saab is saying that by default, the nature of collaboration in filmmaking is such that these concerns would fall off. They would not matter, because at the end of the day, if you want to create good cinema, a meaningful artwork, you will have to go by what would serve that and not what would serve your prejudices. So I think by default, filmmaking does not allow these concerns, and one has to go with the best talent around.
Yeah, which is so wonderful. And as you said in Mee Raqsam, kala ka koi mazhab nahi hota. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to spend my Sunday morning with you all. And to all those watching your Saturday evening, I hope you enjoyed it. Really, genuinely. Thank you.
Thank you,
Anupama. Thank you.
Thank you.
Neza, Javed's sister. And she said, because she's also a Bharatnatyam dancer, no? Uneza, Javed's sister, is a Bharatnatyam dancer, and she had a very close relationship with her father. So she just sent me a message saying, I wept and wept and wept because I connected with it at every level. She's in Chicago.
How lovely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you, CoSAFF. Thank you very much for having this as the opening night film. It's a big honor, but really for those who haven't been able to watch it with subtitles, I'm really glad that you're saying that it will run through the 2 weeks, so people will get a chance to catch it again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you and
Thank you.
bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for the engaging Q&A, Anupama Chopra from Film Companion and the full team behind Mee Raqsam. Hope you all enjoyed the film and the Q&A. And sorry for the technical difficulty we had with the subtitles. We promise we will have the film up on our Vimeo OTT platform with the full subtitles so that you can enjoy it till October 17th. You know, as we say, बड़े बड़े शहरों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती रहती हैं. Oh, one subtitles for that? What I mean is, you know, when you host such a huge film festival, small technical problems happens. So again, you can watch it right here. And let me tell you about tomorrow. We are coming back with 2 amazing programs. One is at 12 p.m. Kaleidoscope Stories. This is Pacific Standard Time and 3 o'clock of Eastern Standard Time. And these are compelling stories from South Asian diaspora, great shorts package. And at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we will have I Will Meet You There by Iram Bilal Parveen. So come back again and watch these amazing films with Q&A with the filmmakers. Okay, everyone, thank you and have a very
Bye-bye. Enjoy the festival.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.